Hi, everybody. Welcome back to I'm Just Saying. I am the Urban Princess, and today I'm going to be reviewing Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 2, Episode 6, uh, The Revelation. Now, this review is really late, and I apologize, guys. I have been swamped, but I am catching up. Okay? I am going to catch up. So let's just go in. The episode started off with um, Princess. Princess is back in LA after the whole situation in Miami. She's packing up her things and she's moving out of Ray J's house. She is looking forward to the future, but we're gonna go find out later what went down between the two of them. The second scene is at Hazel's house. Now, if anybody watched Love and Hip Hop last year, initially she was living with Tierra and they had this tiny little place. And then she moved in on her own once they fell out into this was supposed to have been an apartment, but really it just looked like a room with a bed in it. But now Hazel has this fabulous house in the hills with a beautiful balcony, and she invited over her girl Tierra to share her great moment with. Sierra being that kind of a friend, kind of not much of a friend, but she talks to her about how her career is going, how she's got going to Dubai, and all the other wonderful things in her life. And she's also telling her what happened at the meeting with Nikki and Jason, how he got really nasty with her and threw that drink in her face. Now, Tierra is not seeming like a friend. She's actually laughing behind her back about the whole situation. And so, uh, then Tierra tells her about what's going on with her and Princess and Ray J. How she's out to destroy their relationship and how she thinks it's working because Princess canceled her trip to Las Vegas, and she thinks it's due to the fact that she went back and said something to Ray J, and Ray J probably pulled the plug on it, not actually knowing that she actually played herself. So, okay, so the next scene is with Brandy and Nikki. Brandy and Nikki have not seen each other since the whole studio uh, little like mission they went on where they bust in on Brandy's husband and so wanted to catch him in the act, and pretty much he was just hanging out in the studio with Ray J and some girls. And it really, but Brandy is not really telling her girl the truth. She's telling her that they're working on their situation, and in fact, they're not working on their situation. They haven't really. They've been fighting like cats and dogs since that whole situation, but and then Nikki tells uh, Brandy that she's dating Fizz. Brandy seems kind of surprised by this, but they're supposed to be good friends. Um, she also tells what happened at this meeting with Brandon and Hazel. How Brandon threw the drink in Hazel's face and got nasty with Hazel. Brandy is I think she is a drama queen. And since she doesn't have the drama or not getting anywhere with her husband, now she's interjecting herself in her relationship with her friends, namely Nikki. So now she's all like, oh, I can't believe he did that, and I'm gonna get him, and blah, all turned up like he threw drink in her face. So Nikki informed her she's gonna have a beauty bar and Jason is supposed to be there. So she's gonna, you know, talk to them about what happened. Okay. So what happens next is, and she also, I'm sorry, talks to her about the Kamaya and the Fizz running and how Kamaya acted, and so she's gonna bring all that up at the beauty bar. Okay. So the next scene is Miles is on a music video location. He's shooting his music video. He's rapping. I don't know. I think Miles can kind of rap. I do. His song seems to be about I'll be on my West Coast, and it was sound pretty good to me. While he's doing this, Milan is on a photo shoot. I don't know what he's photographing, but he seems to be on a photo shoot. And after the music video is done, Miles tries to call Milan. Milan is not picking up. They haven't really spoken since the whole falling out when they moved in. So Miles is at this point now where he has decided he's going to tell Amber the truth. And thank gosh, because the storyline was getting like really rough. So he calls Amber and tells him to meet him at the therapist, that they're going to, talk about, work on their relationship. And Amber she is very excited. Okay, so the next scene is Amber meets up with her sister. And she looks a lot like her sister. They meet up at a restaurant. I am under the impression that Amber's sister knows that Miles is gay, or she knows something's going on with Miles. Now, apparently Amber said that they're very close, and Amber knows Miles well. So, that Angel, her sister, knows Miles well. So if Angel knows Miles, she probably suspects that he's gay. And so Amber tells her they're going to go to therapy. She's very happy that she's all in love with him. They're like Barbie and Ken, and she just really wants to be with them. And she just not having a clue that this is maybe something about something else. But her sister, if you look at her body language and the words that she chooses to use, she pretty much tells Amber, like, look, if you go to this counseling session and you don't get what you want, you need to be prepared to move on. And in the meantime, you need to pay attention to the signs and his patterns. And I think that was her sister trying to warn her of what might come. Okay, so the next scene or the next story is around Willie. He goes to the studio to meet up with his old manager. And his old manager name is Screwface. And he's from his day 26 years. And apparently Screwface now works for another label. And Willie is interested in joining this label. Now, Willie is now currently part of an independent label. The owner name is Harry. And he has supposedly invested all this money in Willie's new solo album. But for some reason, it's on hold. So Willie is kind of stuck because, he's not making any money. He's not getting out there, no publicity. Screwface pretty much tells him, look, guy, I want to work with you. However, you're in a situation you got to get out of. You got to go to Harry and see if he will let you out your contract. Otherwise, we cannot do business. And Willie is not too happy to hear that. Later on in the episode, I can tell you now, he's in the car with Shonda, his wife. They drop the kids off at school, and she's again expressing how she is worried about these bills. She is really worried about the bills. And she is more than ready to go dancing to make this money. And Willie is not happy. He's telling her, like, you're stressing me out. I'm trying to make moves. And this is the reason why I don't tell you everything about what's going on in his career. But he did tell her, yes, I did go meet up with Screwface, my former manager. She was happy. He's interested in making an album with me. She's happy. But the problem is I have to get out of the contract with Harry. Not so happy. She wasn't happy. And she knows what that means. So, she's still stressing, like, look, I can make this money. Willie does not want her to be on the pole. He told her, go get an ordinary job. I don't care. But not just dancing. And, of course, she says, I'm not an ordinary person, and we don't have no ordinary bills. But, that bothers me because, yes, I'm all about standing by your man, and if, he can't make money for the family's sake to go out there and do what you got to do. But the dancing, I'm not feeling. I think that she can probably find something a little bit more better than that. But And I think he feels the same way too. So he just told her pretty much, chill, babe. I'm going to go to Harry. I'm going to meet up with him, find out if I can get out this contract, and do what I can do. So, okay. So in the next scene, he does go meet up with Harry. He's in the studio. He's singing, and so we get a little sample, a taste of how he sounds, and he sounds good. I don't know how what market he could do or how to market himself right now, but he does sound good to me. But Harry meets with him and he's asking Harry, like, about the album, when is it going to drop. Harry lets him know, um, it takes time. We got to find out what market it is. We got to, you know, tweak some things. It's going to take a moment, but we're going to get there. And Willie just lets him know, look, I got other people interested in me. I got other eyes on me, and I want to do what I do because right now I'm out here with his wife, and he's got these bills, and he can't wait too much longer. And Harry told him, look, I understand what you're going through, but you don't want to make a stupid move. And he even said to Willie, look, maybe we can all do the deal with this said interest. And Willie said, no, they only want to do the deal with me. So pretty much Harry doesn't look like he's going to let him out his contract. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But that was pretty much Shonda and Willie's storyline. Okay, so the next storyline would be, it's the day of Nikki's beauty bar. Her and Brandy are chopping it up. Nikki's getting herself made up. Jason shows up. He wants to do something with her line on Hollywood Unblocked, and he's also there to explain really what happened behind the scenes with Hazel and him, and how he wanted to make amends for that. He brought Kamaya along, because even though she and Nikki are beefing over Little Fizz, he feels though she can't really afford to make enemies right now of anybody. So he brought her along to maybe think, unrealistically, that she can say something to Nikki and maybe, clean up what's going on. So him and Kamaya, they're all standing there after the pleasantries are said. Brandon just chops out there and says, look, you know what? I know who you are. I know what you did, and I don't like you, pretty much. And Jason, I think she could have held back a little bit until Jason really just said what he was going to say. Jason just kind of flagged her off and said, okay, well, you're not really involved, so let me just keep talking to my girl Nikki. And Nikki is just sitting there. And Brandy is just really just going on him. And then he, to me, got nasty. That's the problem with Jason, is that he called her Chihuahua. That was unnecessary. He could have just said, look, can I talk to Nikki by herself without you for a minute? But instead he insulted Brandy, and the Brandy is not having it. She goes over, she drinks a little water, and she throws the rest of it in his face. And there goes the fight. No one is talking about anything. Everybody is trading insults. Nikki is insulting Jason. Jason is insulting Nikki. Kamaya was just standing there at first because she was like, oh, shoot, I really came here to make some amends, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And then when she started talking, that's when it just went bad. He said he's going to tear her down on the internet. He called her plastic and fake. She just kind of shooed him on out of the venue. And then when Kamaya chimed in, she just pretty much insulted her too. And Kamaya looks like she ready to punch somebody in the face. But everybody walked away and nothing got resolved. So that was that. The next scene is with April, Nia, Shonda, and Princess. They're at a holistic spa. They're in this like pool. It looks really nice. And Princess just pretty much is getting together with her girls, telling her, look, I broke up with Ray J. I'm by myself. And Tiara is the cause of it. And April is like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be, because she's friends with Tiara. I don't want to be in the middle of this, but what are you going to do? So she said, Princess is going to have a day party. And Princess said, I'm going to invite Tiara there. And I'm going to confront her for all the lies that she told. And I want everybody to be there with me when I do that. So, that being said, we get a quick shot Miles in the church. He's praying and holding the Bible, and I guess he's wrestling with his convictions and stuff. I don't know what he. Pretty much, he's just praying that everything goes well with this, with the therapy, and and Amber's when he has to go to therapy with her. And so I can skip over that. And finally, it's the day of the day party. Everybody's there, and when it's during the day, it's on this rooftop lounge, and they're all standing around. Everybody's acting like they don't know what's going on. Everybody's just hugging and kissing and having pleasantries and smiling these fake smiles. When Moniece, who is the pot stirrer, starts things up by saying that she's confused by Tiara and Prince's relationship. Like, when did this happen? And she flat out asked, are they friends? And Tiara, who was being messy, said, oh, I wouldn't call it a friendship. I would just say that we're not friends, but we're not enemies. Which Princess chimes in, oh, we're not friends now? Now all of a sudden we're not friends? And to me, Tiara just, you should have, if you didn't want to be friends with this girl, then you should have left her alone. But you're so busy out for this revenge thing that you are playing with this girl's feelings, and it's just not right. So she tells her, well, like, Princess, we were beefing last year, and even though you cried on my shoulder at the little party that April had, I didn't kick you while you was down, but I'm not your friend. And you should know that, all the things that went between us, that we could not really be friends. And Princess, that is true. You can't be friends with somebody like that, and you should have picked up on that. But I don't blame Princess when she told her, well, look, you are unloyal, you're not right. And when things got heated up, Princess bopped Tiara right in her head. I mean, she popped her pretty good. And then the whole fight started. They going back and forth. I think this fight, from the way it was edited, lasted all day, because it went from high noon to like a low evening when they were still fighting. And let me tell you something. Everybody got in a couple of good jabs. Princess called Tiara fat. And apparently Tiara does not like to be called fat because she spit on her. And then they went back and forth, and Princess called her a hippo, and she said, you can't even get up out that chair. And she said, well, I'm faster than you. It's just sad to see two beautiful women, and they are, in their own right, beautiful, fighting over this man. But they were fighting over him. I think Princess really was hurt. And Princess got really teary-eyed, but Princess said she is going to get her before they let her off with security. But, Tiara should feel like a piece of crap because you wasn't right with that. Everybody stayed behind and sat with Tiara, but really, honestly, Tiara was in the wrong for faking that relationship with her. So, okay. On to the scene where Miles is sitting in the therapist's office. He's talking to the therapist. The therapist asking him what's going on. He tells him how he's in a relationship with Milan, but he had been in a relationship with Amber, and Amber wants to get married to him, and now he's here to confess to her that he not only doesn't want to be with her, but he's gay and in a relationship with Milan. And he's crying for being deceitful. He's crying because how he's going to hurt her, and he's crying because he has to open up to his family and friends and have them find out that he's actually gay. And the scene ends with Amber. She's getting out of the car. She's doing that slow walk to the therapist's office. And of course, once she hits that door, that's when they have a PSA about coming out of the closet with Miles, and I guess VH1 had a program right afterwards. So that was the episode. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. But please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. I need the subscribers. And I'll see you next time, which will be very, 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 very soon for the next episode. Bye. Love you.